Well, of course, we've already talked about how most mouthpieces out there have a compressed harmonic series, and all the ways that that sucks. And the thing is that almost all of us learn to play the trumpet with that kind of mouthpiece. So from the very beginning, we do the best that we can to adapt to that environment, and it has a really powerful, strong effect on the formation of our technique. So it's muscle memory in all of us, and it's sort of emotional memory as well. We learn that it's scary up there in the upper register, and that we're less likely to succeed, and that has an effect in many ways on our life as a trumpet player. We have to spend the vast majority of our time, even well into adulthood, on trying to fix things up there, trying to do what we can to all those notes, and also artistically, we make choices that we probably wouldn't make otherwise. To avoid the upper register, or we avoid pieces of music because there's that one note or those two notes in it that go above our range or our comfortable range, and so just the whole point of these mouthpieces is to empower you to make your gut instinct choices. Like that, what you would do in a perfect situation. If you didn't have to worry about range, would you then choose to play that piece? Or in the middle of an improvisation, if you didn't have to worry that it gets a little bit unstable up there in the upper register, would you go there? Would trumpet players sound a bit more like saxophone players or pianists or whatever, with a more adventurous architecture to your improvisation? What would you sound like if your upper register wasn't a bigger challenge than the rest of your range? And that's what Lotus Mouthpieces will do for you, is give you that experience to just make choices based on what you'd like to do, not what you feel like you have to do or are limited to as a result of things that are not your fault. And with these mouthpieces, you get that. You get the experience of just basically playing whatever the hell you want without sacrificing, and probably without having to practice as much as well, because most of the time our practice time is spent on the part of the range or the parts of the piece that are more difficult, which almost always has to do with large intervallic jumps going into the upper register. So there's a lot of freedom, emotional and creative freedom, that comes from a mouthpiece that's got equal tempered octaves and just lets you play anywhere in your range with exactly the same approach, physically and emotionally.